Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to do part 5 of British Columbia, Canada, volcanoes and volcanic fields. We're going to start with Little Eagle Cone. And 1 second. Okay, Little Eagle Cone is a subglacial mound in northwestern British Columbia, Canada. It's located in the Dark Mountain area, and it last erupted during the Pliocene epoch. And I don't think we have a view here, but we can look anyway. And we do not, so we are moving on to our next one, which is Little Ring Mountain. Also known as Little Ring Peak. This is a Tuya in Pacific ranges of the coastal mountains in southwest British Columbia, Canada. It lies at the head of the Squamish and Sault rivers. It is part of Mount Calais volcanic field. Its most recent eruption most likely occurred during the Fraser glaciation. This peak is so called because it is similar to the larger and officially named Ring Mountain just to the south. So this is Ring Mountain here. And the other one is down this way. And we're moving on now to Languorous Mountain. Languorous Mountain is a volcanic feature in the Northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province and is the only location of megacrist made of cristite in the volcanic zone. I don't know, we can check and see if there's a view here, but I don't think, a lot of these are not going to have one because they're out away from towns and cities. So our next one is Lone Butte. And Lone Butte is a low, steep-sided mesa butte or volcanic plug in southwestern British Columbia, located on the southern Caribou Plateau to the southeast of 100 Mile House. It is composed of columnar basalt that formed within prehistoric volcano 6 million years ago. It is part of the geological formation known as the Chilcotin Group, which lies in between the Pacific ranges of the Coast Mountains and the Mid-Fraser River. And we have a road here, so we're going to back up and see if we can look from the road. And we can, so we're going to go here. And it's up here. You can see it behind there. So let's go down the road a little bit and see if we can get a better view. There we go. Now it's up here. And we're moving on to Mount McKenzie. Mount McKenzie is a volcanic peak, and it's located 25 miles northeast of Haggensburg, British Columbia. It is one of the volcanic peaks of the Rainbow Range, which is one of the 3 major shield volcanoes that form the Anaheim volcanic belt. Mount McKenzie was formed when the North American plate moved over a hot spot. similar to the one feeding the Hawaiian Islands, known as the Anaheim hotspot. That's kind of cool. So we'll see if we have any views in this area here. And we don't appear to, which would be kind of cool if we did. And we don't, so we're moving on to our next one, which is McLeod River Cone. McLeod River Cone is a cinder cone in the Pacific Ranges section of the Coast Mountains in British Columbia. It is believed that the volcano last erupted during the Holocene, making it one of the most recent eruptions of the Silver Throne complex. That's huge. And our next one is Maitland Volcano. Maitland Volcano is an active it's a heavily eroded shield volcano, that resides in the northern interior of British Columbia. And moving on to our next one is McLeod Mud Volcano. McLeod Mud Volcano is an active submarine mud volcano on the coast of British Columbia, Canada. It's located 16 to 18 kilometers west of Vancouver Island. It rises approximately 98 feet above the mean level of the northeastern Pacific Ocean and lies directly along the southern expression of the left lateral strike slip Nootka Fault. McLeod is one of the few mud volcanoes documented in the Northeast Pacific. It is 1 mile across and contains a breached caldera and 2 small summit craters. And we have some views down this way, so we'll just go over and look at the beach. And this is our beach area. Isn't that pretty? Check that out. That is wild. It's awesome. And moving on to our next one, Matthews Tuya. Matthews Tuya is a tuya in north-central British Columbia. It is one of the 6 tuyas close to the Tuya Lake. It has been partly glaciated, and Archon geochronology shows it at about 730,000 years old. The other volcanoes in the area include Tuya Butte, South Tuya, and Ash Mountain. The volcanoes in the region form part of the Northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. And moving on to our next one is McLeod Hill. McLeod Hill is a tuya located 25 miles north of Clearwater in Wells Gray Clearwater Volcanic Park and Wells Gray Provincial Park. And it's east central British Columbia. McLeod Hill last erupted about 12,000 years ago. And our next one is Mount Meager Massif. Mount Meager is a group of volcanic peaks in the Pacific ranges of the Coast Mountains in southwestern British Columbia, Canada. It's part of the Cascade Volcanic Arc in western North America. Then you have Mount Athelstan over here. And we have some views over this way, so we'll go over here. I don't know if we'll see much from there, but we can go over there. Wow, how beautiful. Okay, our area we're looking at is over this area. But how gorgeous. And our next area is Meager Mountain. Meager Mountain is a subglacial mound. It's a product of subglacial volcanism from the Pliocene period, when this area was covered by thick glacial ice, forming subglacial volcano that never broke through the overlying glacial ice known as the subglacial mound. And our next one is Meza Peak. Meza Peak is a volcanic cone. It is the highest peak of the level mountain range, a cluster of bare peaks on the summit of the massive level mountain shield volcano, which forms the most voluminous and most persistent eruptive center in the North Cordilleran volcanic province. And our next one is Maureen Cone. Maureen Cone is a cinder cone in the northern British Columbia, Canada. It is thought to have last erupted in the Holocene period and is part of Mount Edziza volcanic complex. And this is Mount Edziza here. You can see Mount Edziza. And our next one is Mosquito Mound. Mosquito Mound is a tuya in the east central British Columbia, Canada. It's located in the Wells Gray Provincial Park. We have this over here, so we'll go over this way. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all that snow. And we don't have a view here, but it is really pretty. So we are going to move on to our next one, which is Nanuk Cone. Let me see if we can go closer. Nanuk Cone is a cinder cone. It lies in the southwestern corner of Mount Edziza Provincial Park and is one of the youngest volcanic features in the Spectrum Range, which in turn form part of Mount Edziza Spectrum Range, volcanic complex in northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. It formed during the Holocene period. And we do not have a view there. So we are moving on to the next one, Nanook Dome. Nanook Dome is a lava dome in northwestern British Columbia, located just northeast of Mount Edziza and Mount Edziza Provincial Park. Its last eruption was during the Pliocene epoch. Pliocene. And our next one is Nazca Cone. This is neat looking. Nazca Cone is a small, potentially active basaltic cinder cone in central British Columbia, Canada. It's located 75 kilometers west of Quesnel and 150 kilometers southwest of Prince George. It is considered the easternmost volcano of the Anaheim volcanic belt. The small tree-covered cone rises 120 meters above the Chilcotin Nechako Plateau and rests on glacial till. It was formed in 3 episodes of activity, the first of which took place during the Pliocene interglacial stage about 340,000 years ago. The second stage produced a large hyaloclastite scoria mountain erupted beneath the Cordilleran ice sheet during the Pliocene. Its last eruption produced 2 small lava flows that travel 1 kilometer to the west along the blanket of volcanic ash and extend several kilometers to the north and east of the cone. And let's see if we have a view from down here. We have one, so we'll go here. And it's off that way. So anyway, our cone is here. And moving on to our next one, Nutan Mountain. Nutan Mountain is a product of subglacial volcanism during the Pliocene period when this area was covered by thick glacial ice, forming a subglacial volcano that never broke through the overlying glacial ice known as a subglacial mound. And our next one is Mount Noel. Mount Noel is a Miocene volcanic complex in the Chilcotin Group in British Columbia, Canada, located 4 miles southwest of Bralorne and north of the tributary of Noel Creek. It is 93 miles east of Garibaldi Volcanic Belt and is made up of flat-lying, columnar, jointed basalt flows along the debris flows and minor pyroclastic rocks. Mount Noel is thought to have formed as a result of back arc extension behind the Cascadia subduction zone. And our next one is Opal Cone. Opal Cone is a cinder cone located on the southeast flank of Mount Garibaldi in the Coast Mountains of British Columbia, Canada. It is the source of a 15-kilometer long broad dacite lava flow with prominent wrinkled ridges. The lava flow is usually long for a silicic lava flow. Opal Cone is a member of the Cascade Volcanoes, but it is located in the Garibaldi Ranges in the Coast Mountains and not in the Cascade Range proper. And we do have a view here, so we're going to go over here. Isn't that gorgeous? And our next one is Oshawa Seamount. Oshawa Seamount is a seamount located in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Haida Gwaii, formerly Queen Charlotte Island, British Columbia, Canada. And our next one is Pika Pipe. Pika Pipe. Pika Pipe is a small composite diatreme in northern British Columbia, Canada, located approximately 87 miles northwest of McKenzie on the east side of Williston Lake between the Peace Reach and Uspeka River. Outcast Hill. Outcast Hill is a volcanic feature associated with the Spectrum Range volcanic complex, which in turn form part of the Northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. It is a cinder cone that formed in the Pleistocene period. I don't know if there's a view for this one or not. And there does not appear to be. And we are moving on to our last one for today, which is Mount Overall. Mount Overall is a volcanic peak in southwestern British Columbia, Canada, located 50 miles east of Rivers Inlet and 1 mile northwest of Mount Somalenko. Okay, you guys, thank you for watching. If you like my videos and you like exploring and seeing different volcanoes and stuff around the world and different things and different stuff, please like, subscribe, and share. We will be back with part 6 probably later this week or beginning of next week. Thank you and have a great day.